Okay, let's do this.
So, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Wait What? This is so weird because we're doing this with video. Like I'm used to doing it in audio, and I go, "Welcome to Wait What?" A twice monthly podcast on technology. It's so weird to be looking at you doing the podcast.
Well, you're trying too hard right now.
Yeah.
I think that.
So, welcome to Wait What? A twice monthly podcast about technology and its impact on our lives. I'm Jason Thomas, Joe Harris, Matt Angelicola. We are not joined by Rob Russell. Rob apparently found it too cumbersome to put himself on video.
The truth is he's camera shy.
Yeah, well, he should be. He has a face for podcasts, not video. So today's topic, we're going to talk about Disney.
Yes.
So we've mentioned this a few times in the past, Disney World, and some of the technology that Disney uses to, keep their customers interested in coming to the park, staying in the park, and then taking the park with them when you leave. Like, you're a huge Disney.
I am, yeah. We go once or twice every year.
And the weird thing about you going to Disney World is you don't like kids.
I would rather be attacked by a shark in North Carolina than be around children.
So why do you go to Disney World then?
We just love the experience. We love the way we're treated.
Yeah.
First of all, as guests there, we love the rides because I think we're all sort of children.
Yeah.
My wife and I, at least, in adult bodies, and it's just a fun place to be. It really is.
And you're like a VIP, right?
I don't know if we're like a VIP. Like,
well,
I don't roll like Tom Cruise doesn't roll up and they push him to the side because I'm there.
Yeah, but they
treat us very, very well.
Yeah, and you like get to go in the park early, all that stuff.
We do. We have to be totally fair. Like, I may have been pulling the wool over your eyes for quite a while. They have these things called extra magic hours,
yeah.
And when you're a hotel guest, when you stay on property,
yeah.
you get these things. So you can go in. Let's say the park opens at 9.
Yeah.
You can go in at 8. If the park closes at 9, you might be able to stay in there till like 11 o'clock at night. But there's far fewer people.
Okay.
Which is really great.
All right. So the interesting thing about Disney, or Magic Kingdom, so it's a bunch of parks, right, in Orlando. Magic Kingdom, what else is there?
Epcot. Hollywood Studios.
Right.
And
what's the zoo?
It's not really a zoo. It's Animal Kingdom.
Oh, it's like a fake zoo. That's right.
Yeah, there's no bars.
Right.
There's just monkeys, and they just walk. Whatever monkeys do, they fly or something. They swing around.
So what's interesting about Disney World and all the parks is that you used to live. Were you in Orlando?
I went to college in Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your opinion of like
I
Disney?
stayed as far away from it as I possibly could.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Tampa, an hour away.
Right.
I was only at Disney World.
Have you been?
5 times in my life.
Okay, so
life.
Have you been recently?
No, I haven't been in, probably 25 years.
Really?
At least. Yeah.
Wow. So now when you go to Disney World, so I'm getting ready. This whole podcast is actually
about you.
Well, of course.
Okay.
But it's actually pretty apropos because I'm heading out to Disney World next week for vacation. So every year, or not every year, every couple years, my father-in-law brings all the family down to Orlando. He has a timeshare in Kissimmee. That's how you say it, right? And he brings the whole family down, and we all go to the Disney parks, right? So this is the year we're going. So we're going next week. And so I've been doing a lot of research on like what parks to go to, all that kind of stuff. Well, I bought the tickets online. You can buy the tickets online. Do you buy yours online?
We do buy ours online.
Yeah. So I bought the tickets online. And what's neat now is you can choose what rides you're going to go on for Fast Pass ahead of time. So Fast Pass, for those of you that don't know, is basically you get to bypass the lines and can go to the front for to get to ride the ride quick.
So it gives you a particular time?
Yeah, it gives you a particular time. So it's
you
like
can select a time, and they like there's a number of potential riders during an hour, during a specific amount of time. So they only have a certain number of fast passes they'll allow for that
time.
An hour or 15 sort of minute block. I don't know exactly what the blocks
I don't know
are,
what it is
I think
either.
It's about an hour.
I mean, that's way better than it used to be.
Yeah, because you used to have to sit in line, right?
Yeah, you'd spend an hour and a half waiting in line for a 3-minute ride.
Yeah. So not anymore. So you can, and what's also interesting is you can only do it for 3 rides though
At a time.
at a time. So once the 3 are up, you then have to go fast pass again. Like you have to choose another ride
So you
again.
can't have your whole day planned
No,
out.
no.
That'd be too easy.
Yeah, it would be way too easy.
Yeah. Well,
So you can choose your
Wrong
fast
with that.
passes online. And the other neat thing that you can do is you can coordinate all the tickets together
Yeah.
amongst your family. So we have like 20 people going. So everybody can get together on one website, and you can coordinate what parks you're going to go to and all that stuff. And they have an app too, so you
Yep.
can choose what parks to go to. You know what you want to do through the app. You can also set up dinner reservations and that
Yes.
kind of crap too. So it's really.
And it's your hotel room key if you stay on property. It's your.
Oh, the app is?
No, the
Oh, the bands.
bands. Yeah.
So we haven't gotten to
I
this yet,
jumped- I
but
jumped ahead.
that's okay. So, so Matt, and we'll show this to the camera. You have one there too, Joe. So when you get your tickets, you can get these are called magic bands,
Right.
right? And the magic bands, like, by the way, this is disgusting. This is the one that you wore.
Clearly the one that I.
Yeah. Okay. This is nasty. How long did you have this on?
For
A
like a
week.
week.
Oh.
It smells like sweaty Matt. Like I don't know how to help you with any of this.
So anyway, this is tied to your tickets or your
Yes.
account, and you can use this to get into and out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it on property,
Right.
to get in and out of your hotel.
You can So it's your hotel room key. It's your ticket to the actual park.
Right.
You can use it to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, oh, I want Mickey ears for the 5,000th time, bink, and then.
So you
just
hold it
pays.
up to a device,
Yep,
and
and
it.
it swirls and turns green, and then you know you're good.
So you use it for all that.
I've used it for everything like that.
Okay. So and my understanding is it also keeps track of your movements in the park.
Yes.
And I think the argument is it keeps track of your movements, basically, so that if you lose your kid, you can always find your kid, right?
Right.
So they can locate where the child is, and
that's what they tell.
that's what they tell you. So actually, this is a good point. So to get into the park with this, do you have to give them
A fingerprint.
a fingerprint? So if you go to a Disney park now, to get in the park, you have to give them a fingerprint. Now
Yep.
Disney will tell you that it's not a full print. They'll tell you it's a finger scan. So basically, what they're taking when you put your thumb or your finger or whatever on the scanner, it's taking points on the.
Like pressure points, right? Or
Well, it's
points
not
on-
pressure points. It's actually
Points on your.
points on your print, but it's
Right.
not the full print, right? And I don't know if that's true or not. But at the end of the day, you have to give up a finger scan, in their words, to get in the park. And if you don't give it up, my understanding is they divert. I'm going to test all this next week. So they divert you to.
So watch out, Disney.
So they divert you to a line that, in essence, you have to stand in for like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, they make it as uncomfortable, or my thought process, they make it as uncomfortable for you to do that as possible.
Yeah.
It's the same with anything, though, right? So we talked about last week about sort of surveillance and opting in and opting
Right.
out of stuff throughout the sort of podcast. It is uncomfortable now to not opt in, right?
Yeah.
It's more comfortable for you to be like, sure, here's a magic band. I don't have a problem with it because I go all the time and they've got me on every camera like possible.
Have you ever seen anybody opt out?
I have not, but I will. Well, you're going to be there,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
will definitely look next time and
Yeah.
ask that person. Say, hey, I'm on a moderately successful podcast.
Not an
We're
English
talk-
show, apparently.
Not an English. No, I don't speak any type of appropriate English. Would you give me an interview? I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
So can you not just buy a paper ticket anymore? Or
No, there is no
can.
paper ticket.
Well, so
It's a
not
card.
paper. It's a card.
It's like a credit card.
okay.
So we have tickets that are almost like 5 years old at this point because we got the no expiration passes, and they're all on this or on the one.
What
that
happens if you
have.
lose that?
So if I took that right now and
I'd
went to
fight
Disney
you.
World,
Yeah.
I would.
It would
no,
let
'cause
me
it's-
in, or
it's tied to me. Because if you read the back,
Well, it just says your name on it.
no, it says non-transferable, must be used by the same person on all days. If
So that
it's-
just means that. But
No,
it's
but
like,
what I'm trying to explain to you,
Yeah.
if you stop cutting me off,
Yeah.
is that this is tied to your fingerprint. So it's. You gotta
All right.
touch this to that. So that's all part of it.
Oh,
Right?
Gotcha.
So every time, that's why when you go there and you have a ticket that's for 4 days or for 5 days, you own that ticket. I can't walk out and say, oh, I only wanted 1 day. I'm going to sell it to Joe and his wife or Jason and his wife.
Right.
Yeah. So you're all tied in to your tickets. That's how Disney does its thing. So otherwise you'd have like black market ticket sales or people with day
Right.
left. Oh, give me $50 for this or $100 for it.
which I assume is the reason why they came up with that. because they had that problem.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
and
people
they,
pirating the ticket.
and they also want, I
Or
think,
not pirating, but
a more seamless entrance into the park, right? Because before, remember, you were there and you've been there before when they had the turnstiles.
Yeah.
It's like super annoying to go through turnstiles, and to get a kid through a turnstile.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
to watch a kid try to go through a turnstile is like one of the 5 most painful things in the world because they can't figure it out. What do I do? What do I just push the stupid turnstile, right? That's me freaking out on television, but that's the whole point, right? Is to make it as seamless as possible.
So they take the print. It's tied to the ticket. You can walk into the park. You can use this band then to as your fast pass.
Yep.
You can also use it to buy and sell things.
Right.
Once you're done with the park, you leave. You can use this to open
Your door, buy stuff in the hotel.
At the hotel. Buy stuff at the hotel. What happens? So do they take your print? They only take your print at the gate.
At the park.
What happens if you lose this? And I can figure out.
So I have lost my ticket before.
Yeah.
I've actually lost a hard ticket before. And because everything has a serial number, and before you had this, it was scanned when you went in, you can go and say, hey, I lost my ticket, this is my name. They look it up.
Yep.
And they can tell you, you have 2 days left, here's a new ticket. And my assumption is that they do the same thing for this. And it's easier to maintain it because it's all electronic.
Yeah. Is this tied to the app in any way? Or have you used the app?
Yep. So what you do is you go and you use this for your fast pass, right? That's what we use. And actually, you put it up against the thing, and you can see it'll say, "Hello, Matthew. Hello, Joe. Hello, Jason." And then immediately, once you go on the ride, it'll tell you that you've gone on the ride.
And now you can choose your next.
Choose your next one. Yeah. So it's really neat. I think it's a great.
So there's a lot of information that Disney is collecting and keeping on any individual who visits the parks, especially those people who are using these things throughout the parks, the park system. And you're comfortable with that?
I mean, it's better.
But I mean, that's the point, right? I mean, the point is that, and we talked about this last week when we were talking about the NSA gig and all that. We're willing to give up our PII, right, our personally identifying information, because we get a benefit, right? And in your view, and it's going to be my view too, because I'm going to go. I'm not getting these things, but I'm going to give up the print to get in.
Right.
I'm willing to.
You should boycott it and just see what happens.
Well, ultimately, I'm going to do that because I want to see what happens. I want to see where I get siphoned off and how long it takes. The problem is, just like the problem would be in real life, is you got a 5-year-old and now you've siphoned off to a line.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how
they're
upset.
Just having a meltdown.
Yeah, they're having a meltdown because they can't get in the park as quick as Johnny.
Right.
I would have a meltdown. A straight up meltdown.
And my understanding is, I don't know what the age limit is, but there's some children can opt not to give a print.
Oh, okay.
But above a certain age, they have to. Right? So, and maybe it's like 8 or 10 or something. We'll have to look this up. I don't know what it is. But if you make the decision, or let's say they're 16, you as an adult have now made a decision for your kid that they can't at some point take back.
Yeah,
Which is they've given up their personally identifying information. They've given up their fingerprint to a private entity that you let them make that decision.
Well, I mean,
right?
we did the same thing. I mean, I did when I was a kid, where we all went, all in elementary school. The police came and we all gave fingerprints.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you give them fingerprints for?
I lived in Moscow as a child.
Yeah, it's like, really?
No, really. But this is in suburban Connecticut, and they came through and we all gave our fingerprints. And I think it was just a way to prevent.
So, like, if you turned up missing or something, they had your print?
Somebody scooped me up, and they didn't just give me back right away because I was.
But we've all done that, the same thing with our iPhones.
Right.
Because now
But there's a difference though. With the iPhone, Apple claims that the print is stored only on the device. It's not stored, and the print only is used as a shortcut for the code.
Phone, right?
Yeah. So remember how we used to put the codes in? Well, the print is a shortcut to access the code, so that you don't have to remember the code. The problem with that is, are they really telling the truth, right? Is the print only stored locally? Disney.
And, I mean, if it's not, then Apple's doing exactly the same thing Disney's doing, except everywhere in the world.
Right.
Because they know everywhere the phone goes, and they know we're not going anywhere without the phone.
Right. So my point is, we're giving a
bit of our sort of independence and certainly privacy for access to
But that's
things.
okay because everybody's kind of apathetic to it. We're kind of like, all right, you know,
Yeah,
I want to
but
get in the
how
park.
many times have you seen people like protesting outside Disney World? Like, the mouse has stolen my They don't.
Have they?
People don't care. No, I've never heard in my entire life
Yeah.
people out there like chanting that the
That's
mouse
because
has stolen their lives.
But you know what's funny about that is the same people who will go and I don't know this for certain, but it would seem to me that there are people who would go to Disney World and give up all of this stuff, but then at the same time come back and protest something, protest Google because they want the right to be forgotten,
Yeah.
right?
And I will add one more awesome thing about Disney World, or like kind of weak as far as I'm concerned. Now in the cups, so you know you go to a restaurant or whatever, and you have the paper cup, and you can go and just drink as many times as you want. Now there's an RFID chip in the bottom of the cup that they say you only get 3 refills. You go and you push the thing, and it tells you how many times you've refilled the cup.
I wonder how it knows that.
Well, my thought is, not being a tech whiz or anything, but that
On a
every,
technology
every
podcast.
time you click the thing,
Yeah.
it probably registers like
Huh.
a counter inside the.
So it knows
Yeah,
how many
it is.
times you've filled.
how many times you filled it up.
Yeah.
Wow, do you know what's weird about that? If you have that wristband on, they know. By the way, they know everything you've bought in
Oh
the
yeah,
park.
everything you bought, the way you get to things. So even the Fast Pass, I think they call it Fast Pass Plus because you do it on this or online. It takes you in sort of like the least sort of circuitous or zigzaggy route.
Yeah.
So it'll take you in the route that makes the most sense. So you know how Google will say this is or Google Maps will say
Yeah.
this is your best route. That's what it does. And so when you go ahead and you set yours up, you'll say, why am I doing it this way? It's because it sets it up in such a way that you can get there like at a decent pace, and you're not.
You mean the app shows you
Yeah.
where to go?
Yeah, it shows you where to go,
Okay.
and it sets it up in such a way that you're not running all over the park in crazy directions.
So they know
and stuff like that, yeah.
every item you've bought. They know when you've exited and entered your hotel room. They know, and what you're saying now is they know when you drink and what you're drinking and how often.
Yes.
And what
And
you
that
eat.
doesn't freak you the hell out.
I mean, they know how many
well-
calories you in.
Yeah, they know how many calories in liquid
Taken
form
in.
you've taken in.
Well, I've taken in my fair share of calories. I think that, but yeah, and I'm willing to give that to them because, I mean, what's the alternative, right?
So-
I go in, I walk through.
You could just not go.
I
just
could-
not
yeah,
go.
You know what? I could absolutely not go. You're right. It seems like a great way to do things.
And on top of it, not even are we giving up all this PII, but we'll pay them to take it from us.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. So tickets at Disney World, since I'm going next week, I checked, cost $100 per person for one day. By the way, and this is not a knock on Disney because
We love you, and we'll take free stuff.
because Harry Potter World charges $150 per person
What?
per day. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
And the neat thing about Harry Potter
Can't you
World,
just rent the movies?
yeah, right. The neat thing about Harry Potter World is, you know, I never read the books, but you can buy the wand from Ollivander's, I think is the name of the wand store. The only reason I know this is my wife read
What
the book.
language
You
are
are trying
speaking
so
right now?
hard.
Anyway,
No
you can
idea.
buy a wand, and you can use the wand in the park because there's a chip built into the wand
People
that
can actually see
lets-
my face, and
that-
I'm appalled at all
that,
this.
that you can do certain things. Like, I think you can, I don't know this because I've not been there, but I think you can use the wand and it will like start waterfalls in the park.
worst
Oh
and
my
ever.
god, that
Yeah.
is
Thing ever.
really lame.
yeah. So
You have to carry a wand around with you all day.
I would carry a wand. Are you kidding me? Why
I
wouldn't
know
you carry a
would
wand?
carry a wand, but
Yeah.
the an average person really shouldn't be.
Oh,
carrying
you're going to give me a bunch of crap about Harry Potter World?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I would put that on my wrist.
But you
far-
wouldn't
way
carry a
before
wand?
I would most certainly not.
I would be a
carry
very-
a
I would
wand.
be a-
I'd wear a tutu and a princess tiara before I would wear.
Why?
Carry around a wand.
Yeah, well,
What would I carry
How
around
big
a
is
wand
this
for?
wand?
it's like a wand. I don't know. How
Good.
big is a wand?
Good.
I don't know. I've never seen
know.
a
And then you're gonna
wand.
get tired of carrying the wand. You know who's gonna have to carry it? Somebody else.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Yeah, when you go with your kids, you're gonna end up having to carry 5 wands.
we pay them to take our take our PII, and we're happy to do it because we get some upside from it, right? You get reconnection with your childhood. I don't know what the hell you get out of Disney World, but you get something out of it, right?
Reconnection with my childhood. Childhood.
Yeah,
That's what
so you get something out of it. I don't know that I'm going to get anything out of it other than some really cool rides, but I'm willing to give it up to get access to the rides. What is interesting about the conversation, given the conversation we had last week, is we're willing to give that crap up, but we're not willing to give up similar stuff for arguably the safety and security of our country, right? People will go crazy about giving up certain, even public data.
Right.
So look at Twitter. So Twitter is, this broad, huge platform where people publicly, it's inherently public.
Right.
People communicate on it, and the messages go out to the entire world. God forbid somebody find out that a government agency is monitoring Twitter, because then all of a sudden
It gets shut down.
it gets shut down. And what I don't understand is why we're so worried about a government accessing content that is public by nature, and not worried about a private company that we're paying and giving our content to. Why aren't we worried about that? Like, I know who owns, I ostensibly know who owns Disney, right? It's the Disney family and shareholders and blah, blah, blah. It's an American company and blah, 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 blah. So it seems like, I would be more comfortable giving them content and trusting them with my content, but it's a private company.
Right.
They're going to use my data for marketing. How many? I don't know that this has happened yet. Do you get emails from Disney?
Very rarely, and only if I do like a survey or something.
Okay.
I will
They
say
already
this-
know everything about
Good,
it.
They already know everything. They've got me on lockdown. They don't actually need to know anything. They're like, well, we'll see you in October. What? All right.
Yeah. So that's another point. They know when you visit. They know, and I would bet money that at some point you're going to get a service from Disney that's catered to you based on your previous history with
And
the
that's awesome.
And it's awesome,
Yeah.
right? But when we talk about giving up our content to TSA to get pre-check, everybody throws a fit.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, what is the government going to do with my data? Of course, they have, I think there's a reason to be concerned because, for example, the most recent hack on OPM, right, where all this data gets dumped out
Right.
somewhere, allegedly to the Chinese. Now we're kind of in a situation where the vast majority of the public, and we had this conversation last week, doesn't trust the government to maintain that content. But why would I trust the government less than I trust Disney World? I don't have an answer to that. I
Because
just
they don't
seems
have big ears. I don't know. That's the only difference, right? When you boil it down, they really do have the exact same stuff, right? They've got your credit card information.
Yeah.
They know where you go. They've got your, the way you do everything.
And they all do.
They know your
we
pattern
give
of
it all
life,
to
right?
Amazon. We give it all to Apple. We give it all to Google.
think about this. So Amazon has been around. I've been buying things off Amazon since 1997. It's 2015 now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So for the last almost 20 years, they've had every purchase I've made off of Amazon. And on top of it, I have a device that sits in my house now called Amazon Echo, which is basically like Siri, except for your house. So it sits in my living room, and it's on 24 hours a day, and I talk to it like you would, listening to everything I say.
That's because that's not. You're crazy. That's what that's about.
Why is that crazy, whereas this isn't?
Doesn't it pick up conversations between you and your wife?
Do you know if it doesn't?
No conversation that I have is safe for whatever Disney.
But
is
you know what I'm
telling
saying, right?
yeah,
I chose,
obviously.
you choose your poison, right? I chose the poison of, the thing's name is Alexa. So, like, it's called Siri on Apple. It's called Alexa on Amazon.
Wow.
By the way,
Why
Did
isn't
you
it
name
called
it?
like Todd?
no, I didn't name it. That's the
That's
name.
the name it comes with.
But what's weird is not like Siri, where you don't feel weird talking to Siri. Imagine being in your home by yourself and then talking to Alexa.
That's what serial killers do.
Yeah, I know.
Partly because its name is Alexa.
I know, it's kind of creepy.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
If it was
If it was-
Todd, you would be like, "Hey Todd, what are you doing? hey Todd, hey."
You want to play some video games stuff?
Hey, Todd, you want to play video
Hey
games?
Todd, I'm looking for Batman comics. Todd, where are you going? Like, so do you is it stream of consciousness? Like you just start.
It can be. But
Do you
usually,
have to say anything to trigger it to
yeah,
talk?
you have to say Alexa. You say, Alexa, play some jazz. So then she'll play jazz. Or you say, Alexa, turn the temperature down in the room, and she'll turn the temperature down. Or, Alexa, turn the light on. She'll turn the light on.
Okay.
So it's like Star Trek, except it's not computer. It's
Alexa.
It's Alexa. But the really cool thing is, once you order a product on Amazon, you can go, Alexa, like say it's dog food, right? I order dog food off Amazon.
Right.
And I did it online. But once I do it, I can tell Alexa to order dog food again. So I can be sitting in my living room reading a book and go, oh crap, I got to get dog food. Alexa, order dog food. and she'll order it, and the next day it'll be shipped to me on my front porch.
It's pretty sweet.
It is
I mean,
way
it's cool.
sweet.
But what if you married a woman whose name was Alexa?
Then you're screwed. Yeah.
Right? And now all of a sudden you're just fighting.
Actually, I think you can choose between Alexa or Amazon. You can choose to call it one or the other.
What
But
if
I'm
your
not
wife
calling
is
it
just
Amazon.
really tall and like, hey, Amazon. And all of a sudden she's like, I'm not getting you dog food, and gets all. Does it talk back?
It does.
Does it have the whole Siri voice? Or is it
No,
a
it's
little more soothing?
it's actually a little bit more sexy, to be honest.
All right.
And you can't change it. It's a female voice. Like, you can't make it male.
Really?
It's got to be female. But my point is,
I'm going to go to your house and I'm going to stand outside the window and just scream.
Yeah.
And order all kinds of stuff.
You could do that. You absolutely could do that. My point is, Amazon has 20 years worth of my purchase history.
Right.
And I happily give it to them because I get the ability to get a product, and now you can do in DC, you can order a product and have it delivered the same day. Right? So
Yeah.
you can order dog food and have it show up the same day. I get a benefit out of it, and I'm happy to give up my content for it. And I get customized messages from Amazon. I get customized book recommendations from Amazon.
Does Alexa send you pictures?
I wish you did.
The one thing they do that's really bad that Amazon does is when you order, they should understand when you order something that you really only need one of.
Right.
Like when we were renovating our house, I bought a sink from
You didn't
Amazon.
need two of them?
And after that, I would constantly get emails for
Sinks.
sink. Oh, this sink's on sale.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
friggin' sinks do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I need?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
just needed the one.
Right,
You
right.
know?
But excellent point. The algorithms don't always work, right? So I've actually ordered books before that have, I don't know how to say this, questionable. The books themselves aren't questionable, but they have questionable titles.
So you talk to a woman robot in your house ordering questionable books.
No, it's just the titles
There
are.
was a movie about this.
No, it's just the titles are
Yeah,
weird.
there was a
I'll
movie.
end up getting recommendations for book recommendations for Ebony Heat, or my best friend Todd. Right, that'll be
okay.
the book recommendations I get.
Okay.
Which is not obviously
Which
the
you're
books I'm interested in.
Right.
So the algorithms can be screwed up, which also means that Alexa can say things to me that are off.
When you're also,
Off
I mean,
my
right
interest.
now you just did something amazing, right? You just personified, like a phone or an app, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that's I think very new to us.
Yeah,
She'd
where
be totally
we're
freaking out right now if we were having this conversation
in front of
the
her.
living room.
Yeah, she'd be flipping out because every 3 seconds we said Alexa.
We would have bought so much
So
stuff.
she'd be confused about what's. But my point is, it's on 24 hours a day. I can order things from it. I have a 20-year history with Amazon, and I give it up because my poison at the moment is Amazon. Your poison at the moment is Disney.
Right.
And the thing that really concerns me is, at the end of the day, when we decide that Amazon's not the poison anymore or Disney's not the poison anymore, what happens to the content? It's still there,
Yeah.
right? And we have no control over it.
I'll guarantee you, if you don't show up to Disney one year, you'll get so many emails.
I bet.
and
I would bet.
calls.
Yep.
Well, you know what? They're concerned
Matt, what
about me.
happened to you?
Right.
They want to know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
They want to know how their money's doing.
Well, listen,
Yeah. Exactly.
Matt,
what
what
you're
issue?
spending it on, that's not that.
The
much.
Pirates of the Caribbean ride is not the same without you,
Yeah.
and we need you to be here.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I like
But that's my point, right?
Yeah.
My point is that we give this stuff up, and who the hell knows what at the end of the day what happens to it.
I would love to hear what our listeners and viewers now.
That's right. We have viewers.
Are willing to give up their eyesight after watching us for 40 minutes or whatever, but what they're willing to give up. Like,
Yeah.
what's something what poison do they have? And it doesn't have to be a poison, right? Are they willing to give up
Yep.
uh,
To get a benefit.
to get a benefit?
Yeah. So this is great ending actually. So thanks again for joining. Hopefully we'll have some more of the video podcasts. I'd like to thank specifically Tima for allowing us the opportunity to do this in their space. Of course, Reuters News to make the connection. And we have an email address that folks can get in touch
We
with
do,
us get in touch with us at waitwhatshow@thomsonreuters.com.
Yep.
And of course, you can find us all on Twitter, and that'll be in the write-up in the notes for the show. So thanks. Oh, one other call out, Jen Harris of Jen Harris Studio for taking, again, photos of us during this time while we've been here shooting the breeze. So with that, we'll sign off and see you guys next time. Thanks.